are open as well.
Yeah, and what comes into my mind as the first point about stress that you work on is I experience many people feel stressed today, and I have the impression it's not least because many people are constantly online. We're constantly also comparing ourselves to others. We're comparing, work we do, how we look, how we live our lives, how much money we earn, etc. And this modern lifestyle, especially the use of phones and social media, I'm curious to know, as a professional, what effect does that have on our body and our way to handle stress? What's going on right now?
What to say, Frank? Your question is too vast to be answered at once.
Okay.
The thing that I can say, because I saw it so much also in the people I work with, is that, and also in the language. My 7 years daughter.
Yep.
She talk about stress. I'm
Yeah.
stressed. Okay. So it means that somehow into the language, stress is a buzzword.
Absolutely.
And I have the feeling that you need to show that you are busy and you are stressed. It's a kind of, is it a sign of style that everyone should be stressed? The only thing that I can say, just to have a first level of conversation around stress, is that there is a not good use of stress, in a sense that when someone say he's stressed and you really feel it and see it, in the sense that you see that the person is really his body is really shaking, and he start to be wet and so on, you start to see that the body gives signs of stress.
Yes.
When you have your heart is beating quite intensively and so on, and also on the way you breathe. If you like this, when you breathe and shallow a bit, it means that your body is showing sign of stress. It's not a sign of stress, it's a response of stress. That's already the response.
Okay.
And when the people have a high level of response for a threat that is from the psychological threat, okay, I need to finalize my report and so on. That's not a real threat, okay? It's something that you have in your mind that tells you, okay, if I have not done this, I can be punished or whatever. The fear and so on make you feel that. Yeah. And if you have the impression that for any reason you are not going to meet the deadline, for example, you are, what we say, overwhelmed by the event. And therefore, you are what we call in distress. You are not anymore in stress response, you are in distress response, which is completely different for the body.
Okay.
For example, an athlete needs to be stressed to be able to perform at the highest level, okay? Because that's prepare the body to mobilize all the resources he has to meet to perform, okay?
Yeah.
But in his mind, he has also this fear I need to go, I need blah, blah, but he is going to mobilize in a positive way the resources from the body.
Yeah.
But as soon as you internalize somehow that you don't have the resources, your body is doing something different, he will gather all the resources to keep it on the core, to protect the heart, to protect the over organs from the threat. Meaning you are unable therefore to think or overthink, because thinking takes energy, and the energy now is channeled through your core, meaning your heart and so on, to protect those organs for survival.
Interesting.
It's a completely different response.
Yeah, it's very, very fascinating. I haven't thought about that. What I have thought about is, not least based on our conversations earlier, and what I've read is that many people actually know what they should do to handle stress and live more healthily. They should get more exercise, they should eat less sugar, they should get enough sleep and do mindfulness, all that. But what I experience is many people, including myself, we don't follow through. We don't actually do it because, something comes up and we don't do it. And now I'd like to add another component. I have also seen this in people of faith who sometimes act differently from the text they read, what they hear people say in church, what they pray about. So what do you think is the main gap between knowing what to do and actually doing it? And what are some practical things we can actually do to bridge that important gap?
Okay, so first things first, you know what to do, but sometimes, no, okay. Let's go back. First, for many people, they are unaware that what are the signs of stress of their body is related to any disease or whatever they got in their life, okay? They don't make any correlation around that.
Okay.
Okay, I have my stomach ache every week, every day, but they never connected to the stress they got in their life. They did not make this connection. Okay, maybe whenever I go to see my boss, if I have my stomach that turns, maybe something is telling me I'm in the flee or fight response.
Yeah.
Okay, my body either want to flee or fight, I'm in there. And sometimes it's because you are shut down, you are too fearful, so your body is shutting down, and it's shutting down what? Your digestion, because in a survival mode, the digestion is not a requirement. Why should I digest my breakfast if I'm going to be beaten by a lion or whatever? Okay. So you need just to understand the hierarchy of our survival and human design for that. But no one is making the connection. What I see in my client, they don't make any connection of their migraines. Whenever they get so much migraines so often, they don't relate it to the stress level they have during their day and think that they have to handle. But you have migraines, first of all, because you have all your muscles around the neck that are so tense, and this is all the body that is tense. Sometimes it's also because you have forgotten to drink enough, to just meet any body needs that calls you every day, all the day long, and you haven't heard, okay? Because you were too focused, too stressed out in distress. Sometimes it could happen like that. So the first mean is to raise awareness for certain people. And if you go to the people that are aware, but they don't do anything, you need to know that from Robert Gagan and Liz Lay, they're two researchers that work on adult development, more than 30, 40 years of development. They wrote an amazing book that called Immunity to Change. Okay. And out of it, they start the book with one story with doctors. So you have 7 people that had a heart surgery. They are late 50s, 60s. They all want to stay with their grandchildren. They all want to live. They all want to keep going in their life. However, when the doctor told them, here's the guidance, here's what you need to do, here's the way you need to eat, here, blah, blah, blah. There's only 1/7 that is going to follow the doctor's recommendations.
1 of 7?
Yes.
Okay.
So it's not that you don't have the desire to do so. It's something is holding you from this. So despite of knowing, despite of being aware, even if your life is in danger, you have only 1/7 that is going to do something. It's like, for example, the Sustainable Development Goals. All the countries know the 70s goals, okay?
Yes. Yeah.
But they are really simplified, but none of them is going to meet it in 2030, which is the goal for that UN report.
Yeah.
So there's a knowing doing gap. Okay.
Yeah.
There's a knowing to action gap.
So what is this person, this one person out of 7, what is he or she doing right?
I think he's moving to action. That's the thing. Is but you don't move to action. There's something that is holding. This is what we call the immunity to change. Something is really grounding you in a certain patterns, which is extremely difficult to go out of them.
So what is that? What is holding us back?
Okay, there's many reasons. Some in the psychology, we can talk about a lot of things, but if I talk about what I know better, even I related to psychology, it's our human design. For example, if you have, let's talk about addiction. Many people know smoking is going to ruin your life. Taking cocaine is going to ruin your life. But as soon as you are in those addiction, whatever addiction it is, I'm not blaming, no judging, okay? Most of the people fall into addiction because there's not something that enrich their life. And for this reason, they look for this enrichment, okay? But as soon as the enrichment is only one source of that bring you joy, somehow is only one source, it becomes the focus source. And for cocaine, for smoke, it gives a big high whenever you take one, okay? Yes. And then you move on with the dose, and more dose, more high you get. But also you have in our body, we have a retroactive loop, which is it lower our sensitivity. So you need to bring more dose. It's lower again, the sensitivity. So you need to go more dose and so on and so forth, okay? To get exactly the same experience of the high that you have. However, once you do that, actually you are using inside of your some circuit inside your brain, which is the circuit of dopamine. Everyone knows it, the dopamine circuit. However, you use it in a way that is not intended to be used. Dopamine circuit are intended to be used for different enrichment on your life. Okay, the connection, the food, and so on. But in small bit, every time a small. But here you are giving a big one. And it starts to be the only one. Everything else is removed because you don't have any more joy to meet your friend. You don't have any, because it does not give you the high that give you the other source.
I get it.
And for this reason, because the secret of dopamine was in place in our human evolution, to bring us and keep us learning in a certain direction. Whenever it gives us a high, it means, oh, I need to continue. I need to do this and continue. Okay? So it means you have a drive to continue. Even it's not going to be good for your health. But it's because the dopamine networks has been used not for his good intent. And then you have everything that is going to adapt through that. Your body is going to adapt because he's waiting for that and craving for that source that comes and so on.
So this was a real aha moment for me that you just shared with me. I'm thinking of, when I sit at my computer, work many hours, imagine there's also dopamine coming there. But when I have more activities, such as singing or doing sports or having conversations with people, I have a little bit of dopamine everywhere.
Yeah.
and that's actually good.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
what
it's
I'm
good.
what I'm curious about is, when you speak with people about this, for example, in your workshops, and this was really an aha moment for me. What other common aha moments do you experience that people have when they speak to you or you do workshops with them? What is one thing that they learn about their health or performance that really stays with them afterwards?
I think, okay, if I recall the last workshop I delivered, it was for PhD and postdocs and also staff in university in Basel.
Yeah,
They were all in PhDs, postdoc in science, okay? So I assume they know about the body. They
exactly.
know
Yeah.
about all the stuff and so on.
Uh-huh.
But never take it as grounded,
Okay.
okay? Because the way we learn is completely a technical stuff. We never connected to certain behavior. We did
Great.
not connect it. Okay, it's work like this. You just need to fix here and it's done. No, we are not machines. Okay, we are far more sophisticated than a machine, because
Yes.
in a machine is not going to adapt. We adapt. Okay. If you don't change the functioning of a machine, it's not going to adapt on its own. Okay.
Mhm.
And what is the most sophisticated for us is that one network can be used in a different way and in a different context at the same time, which make us really, really robust, which is not for a machine. Huh? We try to make them robust, but to a certain extent. And what they say, what they have learned, and the aha moment is about this connection, about my emotion and my actions. This is connected. What is connected? What they have as a aha moment is the body signs. They were not aware and not connecting with what is happening.
Mhm.
And the one that is often coming is, oh, it's not negative to have certain signs. They perceive it as negative. They perceive it as they are not good enough to handle the things. That's why it's going in that direction. I say, no. There's nothing wrong to go that your nervous system, because it's going flexibly and in a certain hierarchy into different level of state. The only thing for you, nothing is wrong that sometimes, because of the context of life, you are just shutting down. Nothing wrong with this. You can stay there and how we say this, grieve if you need to
Great.
grieve. Just be in that state if
In
it
that
is
emotion.
needed. Be with that emotion. The
Yep.
only thing is, what I want to teach you is to gain flexibility to move from one another fast enough to not get the damage of being on one state. If you are all the time want to fight, at some point it's not going to help you on the long term to
Yep.
be all the time want to fight with everybody.
Exactly.
Or to be in this anger mode all the time.
Yeah. So I've
Uh,
been thinking really a lot about these topics, and I know that you're a very curious person. You're a very innovative person. You're a person who loves to do research and science. And so what I'm curious about is, what do you think will be the next real big breakthrough in managing stress or performing at our best? Where will that come from? Will it come from much more knowledge about sleep? What's
I
going
don't
on
hear
when we
you.
sleep? Or will it come from better understanding our ancestors, so our genes? Or will it come from, discovering how our gut influences our brain? Or where do you see it coming from, these new breakthroughs in managing stress?
I think, Frank, I think the knowledge is there. The science
Knowledge
is,
is there. Okay,
we know already so much.
interesting.
But what I see as well is not spread everywhere because it's going against the mainstream of thinking. I also heard, for example, one of the researcher that search on, I don't have the book here, okay. This book, the Campbell Plan, by Thomas Campbell.
Yes.
He's a medical doctor, and he co-authored the China study. The China study is about diet, plant-based diet. Okay.
Plant-based diet. Okay.
Okay. He wanted this guy. Thomas is the son, but Colin is the researcher. And Colin, he's maybe around his 19s years old, and he wanted to publish his last research around the diet and around our immunity, the real immunity, not the immunity to change, the real immunity against certain virus.
Yes.
And none of the journal accepted his research paper.
Really?
Yes, because this new understanding will completely disturb the way we see the world, and certainly the way we cure, we eat, and so on. And what he's saying, basically, he made a study around people that had the coronavirus, and he's showing that one of the molecules that you find in the milk, actually, we call it casein, is actually somehow, I have not read the paper clearly to understand all the process in there, but somehow it's increasing the sensitivity so the virus gets a better way to spread. So it means that you need to remove casein from your diet. So everything that is milk. You know how now the industry of milk is pushing that everyone take meals, and you need your dose and blah, blah, blah. Okay, but in his recent paper, he also showed that casein, when it's taken by people that have a cancer, is increasing quite fast their cancer. Okay, he's already showed that, but here he showed it also in for the virus, how this is actually decreasing our immunity, so the virus gets changed to spread. And he was not able to be published, so he published in a different way. And this guy, Colin Campbell, is a well-known researcher in his field.
Okay.
So how someone that is well-known, well-established researcher, he's only like blacklisted to publish certain things. So now I said to myself, I don't want to go in this paranoia against, en français on dit complotiste.
Okay.
But I said, it's strange. Now I start to see that even in our field, it's not everybody that can be published, depending on what you are going to publish. Is it going to go in the mainstream, yes or no?
Okay, interesting.
Yeah. And you have the same in pharma, how we can publish certain study, by whom, and so on. It's not all clean, I would say.
All right.
To say it properly. And
yeah, thank you for this. And I think the last question, which is on my mind, is we are close to Christmas, and if there's someone who is feeling stressed at this time, maybe a bit hopeless, what is one small thing you would suggest to do today if you are in that state of mind, to feel a little better?
If you are what? In which state of mind?
If you are in a state of mind where you have had a lot of stress for a long period of time, and you're maybe feeling a little bit hopeless about how things will go, also with all these changes we are experiencing, what is one concrete suggestion that you have?
Yeah, for me, it could be two. The first thing, when you are in this dark moment, And also when you have your mind that is running like a radio against you somehow.
Yep.
It's not everybody that has a mind chatter. We need to know that. But if you have it on the top of that, you are ruminating around your situation. The first thing I will encourage someone to do is reach out. Reach out, not only a professional, but a friend, someone. Let's be kind to ourselves. Everybody is going through difficulties in his life. We experience it differently, of course, in different intensity, but we all go through difficulties because that's life, basically.
Yep.
And just first to be honest about what we are going through is already a step to have in return compassion from the other one. This body to body, this brain to brain relation is what is going to help you go in the higher level of your nervous system to be able to engage. If you are really down, and you are unable even to think meeting somebody, because it could happen when you are in the state where you completely collapse and shut down, the thing that I can encourage you to do is moving already bring your body in a state of fight or flee mode. Just move 1 step, 2 steps, whatever you are able to do, try to move, because when you are lethargic, only going out of bed is already a miracle. So be patient with yourself, be compassionate with yourself. You can make some, I love this loving kindness meditation.
Yeah.
May I feel, may I do well, and so on. Do some kind of connect with the spiritual in whatever it means for you. Connect with it when you are in those moments with yourself to find this energy to go out of bed, energy to go and meet somebody.
Yeah. So this is really, really interesting. I think one thing that stayed with me in what you said was reach out to someone. It doesn't have to be a doctor. And this is something I've been thinking quite a lot about, because not least because of the strongly increasing healthcare premiums in several countries that people almost cannot handle. But also because I think this is an untapped resource, that people can help each other, actually. Neighbors can help each other, friends can help each other. But how do we handle the financial aspects? We have systems that doctors get paid for that service. But how do we handle it when everyone gets engaged more and help each other more? How do we handle the financial aspects that we actually do some professional work by just listening or by just asking questions? What are your thoughts there?
It needs to change the paradigm, because we need more and more people like me, I would say, to give advice about health, because there's over forces in the environment, whether it's organizational, whether it's cultural, that bring the people in another direction.
Yes,
so
exactly.
you have to pull it. But if the people find on their own to reach out and so on, they will stay out of the health system. And this is what I wish to everybody, to stay out of that healthcare system. But you can do it through small things, not the things that we try to put in our mind. You need the pill, or you need many things in a primary care. Is the way you eat will already bring you noticeable good things. You move. Physical activity will also bring you a direct good things, and you don't need a week or 2 weeks. and here I'm talking about antidepressant, to get something comfortable. Only changing the habit is not easy. I'm not saying it's easy, because when you have the habit of eating really rich food, your body, because it's the dopamine network, is asking you for more, and more you are obese, more the fat in your body is asking you more fat. So it's really a vicious cycle. Okay,
Yep.
I'm not judging nor blaming anybody that is in this situation, because you are taken into a kind of vicious cycle here.
So
okay?
I'd like
And to get out of it is to reach out and connect. Connect with people, because we need all help when we are down, when we are unable to overcome what is coming to us. This is by being with other people that we find the strength.
So I'd like to follow up with just one little question. I need a little bit explanation to get you into the mode that I'm thinking about. So I know you are a lot into movement, and I am too. And what I'm really fascinated about is how can we improve the conditions for using bicycles in, for example, cities, because it's a way of movement that we can bicycles to go through the cities, and we can thereby strengthen our health. And I think one thing that is lacking is better. That's what I hear from many people. Better places to actually park their bicycles, and especially in real estate. And I talked to the owner of a large building, and I asked her, what do you think about this topic? Because the parking spaces are lacking for bicycles. People are just have a lot of frustration because they cannot park their bicycles in that particular real estate building. And you know what she said to me? She said, this is not my task as an owner, because there are no laws. And if there are no laws done by politicians, I will not do that, because it will cost money. So my question to you, Sanae, is this: what laws do we need to change to enable this paradigm shift that you're talking about? Healthy living, more proactive aspect. What laws are really important to change right now?
Okay, nobody like to have rules. I don't know, by making more laws you are going to have something. Okay. We don't like anybody, or at least me, I don't like to be forced of doing something. What you can do, because to initiate the change until it's came to a point where it will shift for everybody, is first start with the youngest education. To make the small children aware about the emotion, aware about stress, aware about everything is going on, and also aware of all the forces from our cultural, social, that are going to bring them out of a healthy spectrum. Okay, and why is going to be like this? Okay, the risk and so on. So they can take informed decision when they are growing. But if you plant the seed, I'm sure if you plant the seed of children to handle the emotion, to understand how to communicate, to not stay alone, it's something they will take it with them. Okay. For adult, is to help this adult that has children to also raise awareness about how difficult it is. So the law that could be first is, how do we help parents to be parents? Okay. And not have more on their shoulder. We need to work, we need to do this, we need to do that, and everything is into contradictions. Okay. Because it can't. And to really see the role as a parent as a pillar of our society. And children are as the future of our society. So we need to bring this, because a mom that is stressed out during her pregnancy is going to have a child that is stressed out also after. Because when you are stressed out, it's sure maybe you are not going to make healthy behavior for eating, healthy behavior for doing activities and so on, maybe taking some drugs and so on, whatever. So this will impact directly the generation, and this person that is going to grow will grow with certain challenges and certain vulnerabilities. And this, to avoid the society to care about it, maybe let's care at the initial time of it.
Yeah.
This is first. And then what I could see is, how do we bring more conversations? Can a state make space and maybe bring facilitators to open conversation? Because if we all have conversation about, sorry to use the word, the shit that life can come throw on us,
Yes.
and openly with everybody will see that everyone has the same shit in their life.
Agree.
So let's just talk about it openly, without hiding, without feeling that we are weak. Or okay, if someone talk, oh, I have financial difficulty, I'm sure someone needs somebody to help him out with his company. If you bring this conversation, people will know.
Yep.
You see, so for me, it's these two pillars. Bring people that have a conversation. So through conversation, they can change the world, they can change their perspective, they can change the way they see, and they can take action. And the other side, protect those that bring this new generation in life.
Thank you.
And when I mean protect, it means remove some life contradiction about work, about... No, sir.
Yeah. Thank you.
Voilà.
I appreciate your very interesting and useful advice.
Sure. You're welcome, Frank. I love conversation with you.